Okay, everybody, are you ready for You Can't Make This Up this week? Because let's rock and roll. It is live. Send in your comments, send in your questions. Well, I'm going to start here. Look at this. Cat claws are outlawed in California. Removing cat claws. Look at this. Let me show it to you. Effective January 1st in California. It's illegal to declaw a cat because it's inhumane and causes chronic pain. Yet a 13-year-old girl can go to the doctor surgically to remove her healthy breasts. If you don't see the issue here, you are the issue. Yeah, no, I mean, seriously, it's inhumane to declaw a cat. Oh my goodness. But it's okay. You look at all of the insane things that happen. So you see Minnesota, they got their own issues. You look at California, you're thinking, where do they come up with these crazy things? I heard this. I don't know if it's true. But apparently California passed like a zillion laws that went into effect on January 1st. I don't know what they all are. I know every year they always do some. You can't burn wood anymore. So me and my friends, we all make sure we go and we find a whole bunch of firewood and we burn it. But by the way, speaking of not being able to burn wood out here, it's really funny because all the stores still sell wood for you to be able to burn. And yet in California, you can't do that. But stores are still selling it. So apparently Governor Gruesome doesn't have all the power he thinks he does. And pray that he does not become your president. All right. What's this next one? It is regarding Bill Gates and cows. He still wants to push his lab-made meat. So I love this. Bill Gates says, a cow puts off more pollution than a car. Okay, Billy. I'll lock myself in a garage with a cow overnight. You lock yourself in a garage with a running car overnight. We'll meet for breakfast in the morning to discuss the results. Oh, that's hilarious. I love that. Thank you, whoever came up with that one. That one is absolutely hilarious. All right, check this out. A couple of things coming up. If you are in Florida or plan to be in Florida, look at this. Check out this. 3 different places I'm going to be. If you can pull this up, please. We got them all. I know they're in here somewhere. Here we go. So it's starting a week from Saturday, January 17th. I will be at the Rock Calvary Chapel, Port Charlotte, with Pastor Aaron Smith. Looking forward to being with you, Pastor Aaron. So Saturday evening, the 17th, and then Sunday for church services. Can't wait. Florida Calvary Chapel Inverness Conference. I'm going to be there with Pastor Kevin Ballard on Tuesday and Wednesday evening, January 20th and 21. Can't wait to be there. I'm really excited about going to Florida. And then, of course, we're going to conclude our time in Florida, all on, I guess it's all on the west coast of Florida, down, up and down around Tampa area. Florida Calvary Chapel Palm Harbor Conference with Pastor Brett Robinson. Looking forward to seeing you guys. Looking forward to seeing you, Brett, Kevin, and Aaron. So Calvary Chapel Palm Harbor is going to be on Saturday the 24th, all day. And then and they're also going to have lunch there. And it's going to be all day on Saturday the 24th and Sunday morning church service. Can't wait. Going to be awesome. I'm also going to be broadcasting today in Prophecy, and you can't make this up from Florida. So I'm really excited about that. Hey, check out this. This is a really cool deal too. January 30th in Southern California, coming to our Watch 412 Church in Temecula, California, Bridget Gabriel. I can never say her name right. I call her Bridget Gabriel. I think it's Bridget Gabriel is going to be at 412 Church in Temecula on Friday evening. You do have to register. I believe it's free for the registration. All of Florida is free also, by the way. So at 412 Church in Temecula, I believe it's free, but you have to register. And it was filling up very early. So I don't know if there's any space left for it. It's going to be rocking. It's going to be rolling. I can't wait to be there. I'm going to be there. Tim Thompson is going to be leading part of the Q&A. Bridget Gabriel's going to be speaking at it with Pastor Tim. It's just going to be over the top. So if you can make it, make sure that you are there. That's our watch. And that also, I believe, let me see, I think that is also on the Hope for Our Times website. Let me look real quick before we go. Yes, this is live, everybody. So it is on the Hope for Our Times website. If you want more information, just go to the events. You'll see the 3 Florida conferences. And right after that, you'll see the evening with Bridget Gabriel. It's going to be absolutely fantastic. And so, are you guys ready? Because I'm ready. Again, feel free to send in your comments, your questions, your concerns. Valero, the oil and gas giant, is leaving California. California refinery closures seen as U.S. security risk as Valero exits in 2026 and gas prices reach $12 a gallon. I wonder if my crew heard that. Did you guys hear that? $12 a gallon for gas for you guys and me. That's crazy. But this is Governor Newsom's world. So imagine this. Why did Valero leave? Because when the oil and gas industry says, we've had it with California, we're done with California, that tells you something. Who's getting all the money from the oil and gas in California? I guess it's not the oil and gas companies after all, because they're saying we can't even do business here. I mean, even In-N-Out Burger has talked about leaving the state of California. In-N-Out Burger, how can they leave? Well, these things could happen. Pookie says, Tommy, is it true Jelani was attempted assassination in line plugged in hospital bed in Turkey? News is silent, but I have the photo, whether it's fake or not. So I have heard, Pookie, that there's an attempt to take out Jelani, and everything apart from that is very silent. Whether or not he's dead, whether or not he's in a bed in Turkey, I can't validate any of that yet. But I do know that the thought was there that Jelani needs to be eliminated. So for those of you who are wondering, who is this Jelani character? He's the guy that is now in charge of Syria, right? So Syria is now really being occupied by Turkey. You guys know that. That's not what you hear in the news. All you ever hear is how bad Israel is for occupying Israel. How bad those Jews are for occupying the Jewish country. Oh, that's all we ever hear, right? But no, so Jelani is the guy who basically becomes president of Syria, but Turkey is really running Syria. And Jelani is the guy who is a terrorist, who had like $1 billion bounty on his head, or 100 million or something like that, or 20 million, whatever it was. And then he starts making good with certain people in the political world. And the next thing you know, he's president of Syria. And then they put a suit on him because he didn't look good in his Al-Qaeda fatigues. So they put a suit on him so he would look better than in his Al-Qaeda fatigues. So he's a terrorist too. But I think it's Iran had put the hit notice on Jelani. So, man, Iran's got lots of problems. I don't know if you know that, but they also got lots of great things that are happening there. I'm excited because I've had the opportunity to meet so many people from Iran that have hated the regimes there, just hated them. Did you know that Iran, if you check it out, I did a prophecy update at Don Stewart on my podcast just the other day. I think it was Tuesday, and we were talking about Iran, and Iran is the fastest growing Christian population in the world per capita, right? China has more people, a lot more people than Iran, but the fastest growing percentage-wise Christian population in the world. It's interesting. It's Iran, a couple of other Muslim countries, China, all these other nations growing in Christian populations. That is the Christian world when you start to look at it. They're in the midst of the Muslim world, or whatever you got going on in China with the Chinese Communist Party. But it is amazing how the underground church is growing. But now the people in Iran, they are rising up. They are saying, well, no, we're rising up. And they aren't looking to the U.S. to topple the regime. As many people have said, Iranian people want to do this themselves, and they have to do it themselves. And just really remarkable to see. Okay, what else do we got going on here? As Valero says, we are exiting California. By the way, they stand to lose $1 billion because of this move, largely because of tax laws and things like that, but $1 billion. Business is so bad in California, they're willing to take a hit of $1 billion. Okay, let's go to some real news. Other real news. This is one of the granddaughters of Billy Graham talking with Frank Turek. This helps us to see the state of the church and why we have major problems. Watch this.
One of the largest Christian platforms out there. And out of respect, I will never say their name. I had the opportunity to do a devotion for them. Mm-hmm. And it just got pulled for 2 reasons. One, because I posted on social media about Charlie Kirk after his death. And the second one I've posted about Israel. Those were the 2 they listed. To me, that reveals a church. Now, if you want to talk about, I've talked about LGBTQ, I've talked at the RNC, I do politics, if you want to tell me those were too controversial for you, then I would understand. I would disagree with you, but I could understand you don't want to dip your toes. But for me, and I found out later, I wasn't the only one. Somebody else was pulled because all they did was a rest in peace, Charlie Kirk. But what it reveals to me is the state of the church right now.
Yeah.
That you're telling me Israel's too controversial, and we can get in that in a minute, because I know you went to Israel just a couple weeks after Charlie's funeral. And then to tell me when a man was killed, whether you're a Christian or not a Christian, a man, a father, a husband, a friend was murdered and was a martyr, and to talk about it, and that's too controversial. And those were the only 2 reasons.
They actually admitted that, which is hard for me to believe, because the Apostle Paul, by the way, on 6 occasions named false teachers by name. Because how else are you going to be able to avoid people who say they're following Jesus if you don't know they're really not following Jesus? So at some point, if people are suggesting that they're following Jesus and they won't acknowledge the martyrdom of obviously a Christian, and they can't talk about the state of Israel, I would question whether or not they're really following the Bible at all.
Yeah, I mean, that lights people up. If you don't talk about those 2 things, as he says, you got to question whether or not you're really following the Bible at all. That'll tick off some people out there. I mean, we post anything positive about either of those when shortly after the assassination of Charlie Kirk, posting things. And then obviously with Israel, pretty much every day, boy, do people get lit up over those things. But she says, this is a church she's talking about. And she says, so a church, I was unable to talk about these things in church. You got to question whether or not they're following the Bible at all. Well, I got a video for you I'm going to show you in a second. But as VinDog Radio says, Vinny, thanks for joining us. The church is in turbulence. I'd say the church is in trouble like crazy. No kidding. Watch this video because a lot of people they just show up at the wrong church. Watch this video. It's a little bit humorous.
If any person here knows of any just cause or impediment why these 2 should not be joined together in holy matrimony, let them speak now or forever hold their peace. Yes! I do. The groom is already married. He married me 3 years ago, and don't let him deny it. I've got the marriage certificate to prove it. Oh, sorry. Wrong church.
Sorry, wrong church. So I look at that, think, wrong church? Well, a lot of people, they go to the wrong church. That's a little bit of a humorous way of looking at it. By the way, somebody in here has commented that it's only $1.89 for gas in East Texas. Yes, I know. I was just there, remember? I don't know if you guys know this. I was at Buc-ee's recently in Denton, Texas. The gas is cheap there. Cheap. Somebody else says $4 a gallon where they live in California. Probably around that where I live in California now. The threat is that gas is going to go through the roof here in California because of Valero. So we'll see what happens. Did In-N-Out actually move their corporate headquarters to Tennessee? I heard that they did, and then I was just told like a week ago that they put that on hold. So I don't know. But if you're in Tennessee, you probably know exactly where In-N-Out is. Okay, I'm going to show you. Let's roll from here. You guys ready? Okay. You can't make this stuff up. You have all of these bans going on with Israel, BDS, boycott, divest, sanction, and then you attempt to actually follow through with that. Well, for one thing, you might as well throw away your phone, your laptop, and a whole lot of other things. But this is just one thing in particular. It has to do with Airbus. For those of you who fly, you know exactly what Airbus is because you're pretty much either on an Airbus, an A model, A320, 321, something like that, or you're on a Boeing model, like a 737 or something like that. So this regarding Airbus, as there's a ban on Israeli technology. So check out this short video.
For anyone who cares about Israel, this screw up by the country's opponents is just too funny. Spain has had to make an exception to its tech ban on Israeli innovation. Why? Because Airbus, which is a major employer in the country, just couldn't manage without it. So it had to make an exception and say, okay, use Israeli tech for this. When a ban on brilliant brain power just becomes a kind of boomerang.
All right, so we look at that with technology in Israel. As he said, when a ban on Israel becomes a boomerang. Listen, Israel tech is pretty much everywhere. Listen, things are exploding. Look at this. This is NVIDIA, and now NVIDIA is investing another set of billions of dollars in Israel. This is in the area of Kiryat Tivon in the north. So that would be up there towards the Lebanon, Syria area, like the Golan Heights area, above Galilee, or in the Galilee region. Somewhere up there, or maybe along the coast, which is quite possible too. It could be north of Haifa or something like that. I'm not sure exactly where Kiryat Tivon is, but I'm guessing it's going to be there near the Lebanon border areas. Look at that, billions of dollars. Okay, check this out. The money pouring into Israel and the business things that are taking place. Let me show you this too. Look at this. This is the UAE, right? United Arab Emirates. Check out this article. This is out of Jerusalem Post. The UAE named Elbit's mystery $2.3 billion customer. The latest deal is considered to be of historic scope and joins a series of huge deals signed by Israeli defense companies in recent years. The UAE is the mystery customer in Israeli defense electronic systems with a huge $2.3 billion. In August, there was one signed with Israel for $1.63 billion. And you start looking at these things and you're going, well, wait a minute. And this is really remarkable. These billions of dollars are pouring into Israel. They're saying, hey, we have a defense problem. We need Israel's help because Israel knows how to deal with these radical terrorists, while the West is over here saying Israel is the terrorist. The countries that are dealing with Islamic terrorism and that are Islamic and dealing with the terrorists in their own countries, they're saying, hello, Israel, will you come and help us? Because the West doesn't get it, but these people are totally evil. So they're signing up for deals. Hey, help us out with our defense system. Germany, you remember going way back to Nazi Germany? Guess what they did? They also signed, what was it, $3.5 billion deal that was in 2023. And now it's only gone up from there. There's more going with Germany from the Arrow system from Israel, and then also from the Iron Dome. But friends, there's even more to it than these things. Check this out. Egypt, right now, I don't know if it's concluded yet. It appears a $33 billion deal with Israel for gas, natural gas. And the Western world is just, I mean, the United States, now Germany obviously is in there going, we need Israel. Isn't that funny? We need Israel's help. But I mean, the businesses pouring money into Israel saying, God is blessing us, such a tiny country. NVIDIA moving another facility there, building another facility there, all of these different things going on. Interesting. Israel's becoming the leader of the world at a time when the world absolutely hates them. I mean, it's just more evidence, the hand of God upon them. How else can you explain that? While the rest of the world is, and while they're at war, while people are trying to kill them, they are doing this. But wait, there is more. I got to show you this. Some of you are well aware of this. I already talked about it a couple of weeks ago. But Benjamin Netanyahu and Israel, this is reference to Israel building, making their own weapons now. Check this out. This picture here, Benjamin Netanyahu. There's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu announced plans to invest $110 billion over 10 years to build an independent arms industry. I approved a total of 350 billion shekels over the coming decade to build an independent arms industry. For the state of Israel, we want to reduce our dependence on any party, even on our friends. The finest minds in our defense industries are hard at work developing weapon systems that will guarantee Israel's advantage on the battlefield and of the future. I look at this and think, friends, this is truly amazing. I just had a question a few weeks ago that came in that I answered. It was via email, and it was about why doesn't Israel build their weapons? Probably about a month ago it came in. And so I answered it to the best of my ability. About a week later, after I sent out that email, I started seeing these reports. Israel is going to be building their own weapons, and a lot of it, as you look at some of the people over in Israel, they're saying, hey, listen, there are people in the U.S. that just constantly beat up on us, mocked and said that Israel runs the United States and the United States gives them money. No, the money that was given to Israel was not aid. It couldn't be given to people for homeless shelters, LGBTQ, abortions, or any of that. The money that's given to Israel was for defense. So Israel would have to take the money and then they would have to spend it in America to buy American weapons. So basically, they took money, funneled it through Israel to build up the American, like Lockheed and these businesses here that build the weapons manufacturing and the planes and so forth. That's pretty much what it was. Israel, that's what they did. That's part of the requirement that they had, or the business deal that they had with America. You give us money, we'll spend it in America. So Israel now says, well, we're not going to do that anymore. We're gonna have our own weapons. They'll have to buy. They'll be able to use their money to buy whatever they want. They'll make their own purchases with their own money. So people can't say, it pulls the teeth out of people that are saying, well, look, U.S. gives Israel money. No, that all is coming to an end. And at the same time, here's the problem. Israel is walking a very interesting line because of this dynamic. Has been well stated for many years, there's the military-industrial complex. If Israel gets the military-industrial complex, which obviously coordinates Lockheed and all of these other manufacturers of planes and weapons, if they get them too mad, the military-industrial complex too mad, Israel could find itself on a very destructive side of the United States. So they have to be willing to still work and do business with these companies, but with Israelis' own money, not getting anything from the U.S. But look at the billions of dollars are pouring in because Israel's already selling their weapons defense systems, Arrow systems, the Iron Dome, now gas deals with Egypt, which we know more and more gas deals are coming. NVIDIA and other tech companies building more and more in Israel. And now Israel saying, we are going to be making our own weapons with our own money. That's what we're going to do. Nobody can say got it from here and there. Glenn Jones says money given to Israel cannot be laundered. The Democrats, yeah, they can use Minneapolis for that with child care facilities. Yeah, no kidding. Exactly. By the way, I want to go back to this picture I used earlier in the very beginning, because apparently some people in comments thought I was making fun of cats and cat claws. No, I was not. I was making fun of insane things in California. So it's illegal to, can you put that picture back up? Illegal to declaw a cat because it's inhumane and causes chronic pain. Yet a 13-year-old girl can go to the doctor to surgically remove her healthy breasts. If you don't see the issue here, then you are the issue. It's the simple comparison. You look at this. I'm looking and mocking the insanity of this. That's what's going on. The cat claw is more important than cutting off body parts of boys and girls? That's what's happening in California. It's okay to steal a little boy or girl from home and take them to a doctor who's an evil doctor and have things surgically removed, but don't do that to a cat. That's just unbelievable. So, I mean, I look at this, it's just awful, it's sick that we live in this kind of a world. It's totally sick, whatever. All right, hey, let's move on to the next thing. This is Mom Donnie in his own words. Listen to this. He's all about communism, comes in the word collectivism. Listen to this.
Replace the frigidity of rugged individualism with the warmth of collectivism. If our campaign demonstrated that the people of New York yearn for solidarity, then let this government foster it.
Wow, there you go, collectivism. Friends, that is communism. Take from those who have, give it to those who don't work, who don't do anything, who are just leeches on society, who burn down buildings, who kill people. Give it to them, and they'll still do the same thing. They'll just take your money to do the same thing with, right? But it's about collapsing society. And at the top, you keep people at the top who are able to control the masses. Think of Revelation chapter 6. I quoted this just the other day. Revelation chapter 6, right on the black horse. What do you have? A day's wage for a loaf of bread, but don't harm the oil or the wine. The elite people at the top, that represents luxury. Oil and wine are at the top. Doesn't hurt them, but you collapse everything else. It's not about bringing those who don't have up to the level of those who do have. It's about bringing those who do have down to the level of those who don't work or don't do anything. It's about crushing everybody, hence going about conquering and to conquer. Daniel chapter 7, this huge crushing beast who just goes around crushing with huge iron teeth. That's what it's about. It's about collapsing everything. That's what collectivism is. That's what communism is. That's how the Soviet Union has worked. That's how China works. So these things work. Venezuela, hello. Talk to people who have been in Venezuela. 8 million people who fled from Venezuela. Absolutely awful. All right, I've got an oldie but goodie for you guys. Are you ready for an oldie but goodie? This is, and we need this just because of Mom Donnie, what we just saw. We got to have a little bit of humor because things are not that humorous are going on right now. Not that humorous at all. Ready? We need a little bit of humor. If you're as old as me, you will remember this when this first came out. Let's just get a little bit of humor regarding terrorists.
Each day our forces grow stronger. Each day we move closer to our goal of driving the infidel... What are they?
Nothing. Carry on.
Driving the infidels from our motherland. We are not afraid to... Are they subtitles? They are, aren't they?
No.
Well, what do I need subtitles for? Can't you understand what I'm saying? I studied English at the bloody American University in Cairo.
Well, obviously I can understand what you're saying.
Oh,
but
do you see how they condescend to us with their subtitles?
Oh, maybe it's teletext, you know, for the hearing impaired.
Teletext.
No, a lot of TVs come with teletext nowadays.
Wait, say something again.
My friend has an 80...
Hey, how come he doesn't need subtitles?
Well, obviously he's comprehensible.
No, I'm not. Look, I speak perfect English. She sells seashells by the seashore. Peter Piper picked a peck of pickled pepper. Round the wagon rocks the rack. Oh!
The situation remains as dangerous and volatile as ever here in northern Iraq. While the rebuilding continues...
What? I can't understand you speak English. Where is your subtitles now? Oh, you think you're so good. Look at me. Subtitles.
Kerry Downs, Iraq.
Shut up! The American...
Shut up. So, Pookie, I hope you like that. I hope you think that one was funny. Hey, so got a couple more things for you. Just a reminder, we have the Are You Ready shirts. They are still here. We in fact, we just got some more in, along with the QR code. And as you guys know, if you've been watching this, you get the QR code. You can scan it right there from your phone right now. If you are watching this not on your phone, you can scan it from your phone. And what happens when you scan that? If you're standing somewhere, somebody behind you gets their phone out, they're doing this, they're going, I don't like that person right there. And they scan what's on your back. All of a sudden, you know what they get? Hey, Jesus is coming again. You better look up. You don't know what hour the Lord is coming. You better repent. And then right on through. Hey, there's no other name by which under heaven by which you can be saved. Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, life. Nobody comes to the Father except by me. You get the truth of the second coming of Christ. That's what pops up on their phone. That right there, you get the truth of Christ's second coming. He is coming again. And then you get the truth of the gospel of the Lord Jesus Christ also. Because people, listen, people need Christ. They need to be saved. If Jesus can come again, people can believe that all they want, but if they don't know Jesus, it's not going to be to their benefit. So praise God. So we also have the gospel. Those shirts are available. And we also have, while you're there, check it out, the You Can't Make This Up shirt. Sorry I wasn't funny enough for you today, Pookie. There's just so much stuff out there today that was that's so real. I didn't even talk about ICE. That is in my news update later on today. But watch this. Here's a little bit of humor for you. Hope you like this one, Pookie. Watch this.
What's your name?
Johnny McMonigal. Is that a problem, officer?
We'll find out in a minute. Suck into this.
Suck? Do not blow?
You suck these new ones. Hurry up. Now, what did you say your name was again?
Johnny McMonigal. Hey, that's no funny. I've been putting a complaint on
Holy man. Hey, see you later on,
I hope you like that one. All right. Hey, why women live longer? Listen, we usually have video. This time, I just thought I'd show you a picture. Why women live longer. This has been going on for a long time. Check this out. There it is, a century ago. In 1926, Fred Osborne rode a Henderson 4 off a cliff in Southern California. His parachute did not fully deploy. He was seriously injured but lived. The bike was destroyed. So there you go. I mean, look at that. So no, apparently the why women live longer stuff has been going on for quite some time. No, Yvonne Kennedy, it's not that Pookie has high humor standards. He has low humor standards. That's his problem. Very low. Very low. I love Pookie, but they're very low. Hey, are you guys ready for tip of the week? Are you ready? Are you guys ready? By the way, don't forget, I'll be in Florida coming up. You can check it out at the events page. Bridget Gabriel's going to be with us in 412 Church in Temecula with Pastor Tim Thompson. Our watch coming up January 30th. Starting next Saturday again, we'll be in Florida for our 3 Calvary chapels there. We're going to be down there. It's going to be great. And join me for this Sunday morning. We're in the Gospel of Matthew on Sunday morning. Look, can't wait. Join us. And by the way, on Sunday mornings, we also, if you want them, we give you study notes. We give you questions to ask a small group. We also give you an outline breakdown of titles and explanations so you can lead a small group right there on Sunday mornings, every Sunday morning. Those are all available to you. All you do is just email us here at Hope for Our Times in the contact section, and you ask for Tony. Tony, can you please get these to me? We do it for both Sunday morning and Sunday night, complete outlines, study notes, questions to ask a small group. Those things are all available, and they are all free, so we love to get them to you. All right, all that being said, are you guys ready? Are you sitting down? Are you ready for the tip of the week? What is the tip of the week? Wait. I think I know what it is. I think I know what it is. What is the tip of the week? Do not sit on the fence. There you go. Listen, don't be a fence sitter, my friends. Do not be a fence sitter. Do not sit on a fence. That fence especially. No kidding. Pastor Kurt Reed, thank you for joining us. Hey, by the way, we're going to be at Pastor Kurt Reed's church. He is hosting a prophecy conference coming up in March. That's pretty exciting. Can't wait to be there. That is in Las Vegas. Okay, see you, everybody. All right, I got to go give Billy back his jacket. See you guys.